Part 15 of the story of Mary MacLane. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Reading by Kristen Hughes. The Story of Mary MacLane by Mary MacLane, Part 15. March 31st. She only said, "My life is dreary. He cometh not," she said. She said, "I am a weary, a weary. I would that I were dead." All day long this heart-sickening song of Mariana has been reeling and swimming in my brain. I awoke with it early in the morning, and it is still with me, now in the lateness. I wondered at times during the day why that very gentle and devilishly persistent refrain did not drive me insane or send me into convulsions. I tried vainly to fix my mind on a book. I began reading Mill on the Floss, but that weird poem was not to be foiled. It bewitched my brain. Now, as I write, I hear 20 voices chanting in a sad minor key, 20 voices that fill my brain with sound to the bursting point. He cometh not, he cometh not, he cometh not, that I were dead. I am a weary, that I were dead, that I were dead. He cometh not, that I were dead. It is maddening in that it is set sublimely to the music of my own life. Now that I have written it, I can hope that it may leave me. If it follows me through the night, and if I awake to another day of it, the chords of my overworked mind will surely break. But let me thank the kind devil. It is leaving me now. It is as if tons were lifted from my brain. April 2nd. How can anyone bring a child into the world and not wrap it round with a certain wondrous tenderness that will stay with it always? There are persons whose souls have never entered into them. My mother has some fondness for me, for my body, because it came of hers. That is nothing, nothing. A hen loves its egg. A hen. April 3rd. This evening, in the slow deepening dusk, I sat by my window and spent an hour in passionate conversation with the devil. I fancied I sat with my hands folded and my feet crossed, on an ugly but comfortable red velvet sofa in some nondescript room, and the fascinating man-devil was seated near in a frail willow chair. He had willingly come to pass the time of day with me. He was in a good-humored mood, and I amused and interested him. And for myself, I was extremely glad to see the devil sitting there, and felt vividly as always. But I sat quietly enough. The fascinating man-devil has fascinating steel-gray eyes, and they looked at me with every variety of glance, from quizzical to tender. It were easy, oh, how easy to follow those eyes to the earth's end. The devil leaned back in the frail willow chair and looked at me. "And now that I am here, Mary MacLane," he said, "what would you?" "I want you to marry me," I replied at once, "and I want it more than ever anything was wanted since the world began." "So I am flattered," said the devil, and smiled gently, enchantingly. At that smile I was ravished and transported, and a spasm of some rare emotion thrilled all the little nerves in me from my heels to my forehead. And yet the smile was not for me, but rather somewhat at my expense. "But," he went on, "you must know it is not my custom to marry women." "I am sure it is not," I agreed, "and I do not ask to be peculiarly favored. Anything that you may give me, however little, will constitute marriage for me." "And would marriage itself be so small a thing?" asked the devil. "Marriage," I said, "would be a great, oh, a wonderful thing, and the most beautiful of all. I want what is good according to my lights, and because I am a genius, my lights are many and far-reaching." "What do your lights tell you?" the devil-man inquired. "They tell me this, that nothing in the world matters unless love is with it, And if love is with it, and it seems to the virtuous a barren and infamous thing, still, because of the love, it partakes of the very highest. And have you the courage of your convictions? He said. If you offered me, I replied, that which to the blindly virtuous seems the worst possible thing, it would yet be for me the red, red line on the sky, my heart's desire, my life, my rest. You are the devil. I have fallen in love with you. I believe you have, said the devil. And how does it feel to be in love? Sitting composedly on the ugly red velvet sofa, with my hands folded and my feet crossed, I attempted to define that wonderful feeling. It feels, I said, as if sparks of fire and ice crystals ran riot in my veins with my blood, as if 1,000 pin-points pierced my flesh, and every other point a point of pleasure, and every other point a point of pain, as if my heart were laid to rest in a bed of velvet and cotton wool, but kept awake by sweet violin arias, as if milk and honey and the sweet blossoms of the cherry flowed into my stomach and then vanished utterly, as if strange, beautiful worlds lay spread out before my eyes, alternately in dazzling light and complete darkness with chaotic rapidity, as if orris root were sprinkled in the folds of my brain, as if sprigs of dripping wet sweet fern were stuck inside my hot linen collar, as if, well, you know, I ended suddenly. Very good, said the devil. You are in love, and you say you are in love with me. Oh, with you! I exclaimed with suppressed violence. The effort to suppress this violence cost me pounds of nerve power, but I kept my hands still quietly folded and my feet crossed, and it was a triumph of self-control. I want you to marry me, I added despairingly. And you think, he inquired, that apart from the opinion of the wise world, it would be a suitable marriage? A suitable marriage! I exclaimed. I hate a suitable marriage. No, it would not be suitable. It would be bohemian, outlandish, adorable. The devil smiled. This time the smile was for me. And oh, the long, old, overpowering enchantment of the smile of steel-gray eyes, the steel-gray eyes of the devil. It is one of those things that one remembers. You are a beautifully frank little feminine creature, he said. Frankness is in these days a lost art. Yes, I am beautifully frank, I replied. Out of countless millions of the devil's anointed, I am one to acknowledge myself. But withal you are not true, said the man-devil. I am a liar, I answered. You are a liar, surely, he said, but you stay with your lies. To stay with anything is truth. It is so, I replied. Nevertheless, I am false as woman can be. But you know what you want. Oh, yes, I said. I know what I want. I want you to marry me. And why? Because I love you. That seems an excellent reason, certainly, said the devil. And I want to be happy for once in my life, I said. I have never been happy, and if I could be happy for once, for one gold day, I should be satisfied, and I should have that to remember in the long years. And you are a strangely pathetic little animal, said the devil. I am pathetic, I said. I clasped my hands very tightly, for I know that I am pathetic, and for this reason I am the most terribly pathetic of all in the world. Poor little Mary MacLane, said the devil. He leaned toward me. He looked at me with those strange, wonderful, tender, divine steel-gray eyes. Poor little Mary MacLane, he said again in a voice that was like the gray dawn. And the eyes, the glance of the steel-gray eyes entered into me and thrilled me through and through. It frightened and soothed me. It racked and comforted me. It ravished me with inconceivable gentleness, so that I bent my head down and sobbed as I breathed. Don't you know,